Welcome to the Clinical Practice Observation Rubric Cooperative Teacher Training. To better support our future teachers and respond to requests from previous cooperating teachers, APU has developed this cooperating teacher training module on our Clinical Practice Observation Rubric. This is part of the Teacher Candidate Competency Training Program. Cooperating teachers will be providing feedback via midpoint and finalist surveys based upon this rubric. University coaches and the Office of Student Placements are available to answer your questions as they arise. You may email your teacher candidate's coach directly or submit your questions on the exit ticket. The link is at the end of this presentation. There are 4 sections within the rubric, covering positive environment, instructional design and implementation, rigorous and appropriate content, and reflection and action. During the first half of the clinical practice semester, teacher candidates will be formally assessed by their coach in all 4 sections and 14 items. During the second half of the semester, the coach will focus on key items in order to move the teacher candidate up the continuum and grow skills in the items. Each item is aligned with the California Teaching Performance Expectations, TPEs, and the Standards for Teaching Profession, CSTPs. We will review each item and their expectations. Note, if a candidate does not meet the attempting level, thus earning 0 on an item, the coach will prepare a focus form with strategies to grow the missing skills. Section A, positive environment involves 6 items: caring community, inclusive learning environment, high expectations, positive behavior expectations, student reflection, assessment and self-assessment, and funds of knowledge. Item 1, caring community, focuses on TPE 2.1. A focus form will be created if no systems and or routines are in place or visible for behavior intervention, conflict resolution or restorative justice, or no evidence of student engagement in problem-solving skills, mutual care, respect, and fairness inconsistently modeled by the candidate in interactions with students, or candidate makes threats to control behavior. For item 1, we are looking for evidence of PBIS and SEL routines and systems. Item 2, inclusive learning environment, focuses on TPEs 2.2 and 2.3. A focus form will be created if the situation is not safe at all for anyone, it's chaotic, no teacher attempts to address off-task chaotic behavior, expectations never clear, negative effect, frowning, sarcasm, no support for independence, no collaboration, children prevented from collaborating, not inclusive of diverse culture, linguistic backgrounds, multiple points of view, more than one instance of bullying, racism, or sexism, child to child or adult to child, interactions not characterized by mutual respect, students fighting or arguing. For item 2, we are looking for attention getters, collaboration, off-task behavior redirection, and equity sticks, or similar process. Item 3, high expectations, focuses on TPE 2.5. A focus form will be created if teacher candidate does not encourage or provide opportunity for independence or self-regulation for any students, does not provide appropriate or individualized scaffolding for either behavior or academic needs, objectives and goals generally do not demonstrate high expectations. For item 3, we are looking for scaffolding, objectives, goals. Item 4, positive behavior expectations, focuses on TPE 2.6. A focus form will be created if norms, procedures, routines are not posted or stated, students have not internalized norms, procedures, routines, and students are unclear about norms, procedures, routines, negative behaviors evidenced throughout the observation. For item 4, we are looking for student-to-student interactions, student and teacher interactions, and norms. Item 5, student reflection, assessment, self-assessment, focuses on TPE 5.3. A focus form will be created if students have no opportunity to self-assess and reflect on their own progress. Students are not given opportunities to revise work. No assessment feedback provided, or feedback is provided, but is not the basis for student revision. Mistakes and/or intellectual risk-taking are penalized. Students not encouraged to think metacognitively about their engagement, learning, and behaviors. For item 5, we are looking for work revision, risk-taking. Item 6, funds of knowledge, focuses on TPE 1.1. A focus form will be created if no evidence of mutual respect with students, instruction and/or artifacts in the room do not show evidence of consideration of students' interests, prior experiences, cultural and linguistic backgrounds. Teacher does not incorporate use of various languages spoken by students or evidence of. There's deficit language is pervasive. No focus on students, families, and richness about a school experiences. For item 6, we are looking for student ideas on how to connect with content. Candidate may share an example. Students need to also share. Section B, instructional design and implementation, involves 3 items: student motivation, engagement, and active learning, varied strategies, and research-based instruction for emergent, bilingual, and students with special needs. Item 7, student motivation, engagement, and active learning, focuses on TPE 1.3. A focus form will be created if heavy reliance on a generic resource with no connection to student interest, rationale does not connect outcomes to content indicated in grade level standards, no connection between the curriculum and life outside the classroom. Most students do not appear motivated, engaged, or active in their learning. For item 7, we are looking for real life application. Item 8, varied strategies, focuses on TPE 1.4. A focus form will be created if no variety of instructional strategies, activities, materials, and assignments. Heavy reliance on textbook or a single resource, for example, a workbook. Some integration of instructional strategies with student learning needs. Instruction and demonstration of knowledge are not differentiated for a range of learners. Students are not supported at increasing levels of intervention, or interventions are not based on student data. For item 8, we are looking for more than one way of teaching, multiple resources provided, UDL. Item 9, research-based instruction for emergent bilinguals and students with special needs, focuses on TPE 1.6. A focus form will be created if materials do not represent the cultures and languages of emergent bilinguals and students with special needs. No evidence of explicit teaching of specific academic language, text structure, and language features to ensure equitable access of subject matter for emergent bilinguals. Does not address the individual education plan goals and objectives of students with special needs. Scaffolds missing. Emergent bilinguals and students with special needs not provided access or support for high challenge curriculum. For item 9, we are looking for ELD, English Language Development Standard, objective assessment in lesson plan and video, if they're able to, reference to research in lesson plan. Section C, rigorous and appropriate content, involves 4 sections: critical and creative thinking, subject matter knowledge, content accessibility, and interdisciplinary integration. Item 10, critical and creative thinking, focuses on TPE 1.5. A focus form will be created if candidate fails to incorporate intellectually challenging academic content and activities that support development of advanced thinking. No opportunities for students to think, discuss, evaluate, reflect at high-level questions. In other words, no DOK 2 to 4. No opportunities for feedback and multiple attempts or revisions. No evidence of complex problems or inquiry-based lessons. No opportunities for critical or creative thinking. For item 10, we are looking for depth of knowledge, DOK levels 2 through 4, and questioning why, how, not just the answer. Item 11, subject matter knowledge, focuses on TPE 3.1. A focus form will be created if the content includes inaccuracies. Outcomes are not aligned with appropriate standards. Outcomes do not represent big ideas or structure of discipline, content knowledge. Lessons, learning activities, and resources are not aligned with learning outcomes and standards. No evidence of attempt at disciplinary practices. For item 11, we are looking for subject matter competency. If a mistake in subject matter is made, it is corrected. Item 12, content accessibility, focuses on TPE 3.5. A focus form will be created if the candidate does not implement planned activities, procedures, and experiences that make content accessible. Candidate does not explain content and or does not use multiple ways to reinforce content. Students are not provided with adequate time and opportunities to practice what they learn. Instruction does not support student communication skills. Candidate does not model or expect students to engage in active listening. Materials, resources, and technologies do not support equitable access for all learners. For item 12, we are looking for student-to-student interaction, scaffolding supports. Item 13, interdisciplinary integration, focuses on TPEs 1.7, 3.3, and 4.3. Item 13 is assessed at least twice during the semester. If not evident in observations 1 through 3, then it must be evident 2 times in observations 4, 5, and 6. A focus form will be created if instruction activity doesn't incorporate multiple, at least 2 content areas. Instruction activity does not incorporate content-specific practices at disciplinary literacies. Integration of visual and or performing arts is absent. For item 13, we are looking for a visual and performing arts standard objective and at least 1 other content area. The actual additional content area standard does not need to be included in the lesson plan, but it must be stated during the lesson or video in an annotation or a lesson plan. Both the visual and performing arts and other content area must be visible in the video, not just referenced in the lesson plan. Section D, reflection action, only includes 1 item, monitoring student learning and adjusting instruction. Item 14 is assessed in all 6 observations. Item 14, monitoring student learning and adjusting instruction, focuses on TPE 1.8. A focus form will be created if the candidate fails to monitor progress of students toward academic content standard. No evidence of strategies for monitoring student learning during instruction. Teacher treats class as one plan fits all with no modifications. Information about student learning is used inappropriately or not used to adjust instruction, even when there is evidence that reteaching is necessary. For item 14, we are looking for more than 1 formative assessment. Instruction is purposefully adjusted based upon student formative assessment. It should be visible in the video or stated in an annotation. If you have any questions or feedback, you may complete the form or contact your university coach.